Hi, my name is Bilikis and you're welcome back to my channel. It's so good to be with you guys. And firstly, I want you to check if you are still subscribed to our channel, because I got some complaint that some people didn't get the notification. So just try to check if you are still subscribed. If you are not, just try to subscribe and make sure you tap on the bell. This helps you get the notification each time I put up a video. And guess what we will be making today? A box pleated skirt. And let me tell you, it's just so easy, like every other thing, and you can make it in like 13 minutes. Yes, so I will just teach you this easiest and stressless way of doing that. So right now, let's go back to our table. Right now, I'll be making use of this fabric. So for what you have to determine, the two things you really need is your waist circumference, like mine is 36, and then the length of your skirt. You have to determine your band height. You need your band height. I want a band height of like 2 inches, which is okay. But for the skirt now, you need your waist circumference, like mine is 36 inches, and then you need the length of your skirt. So I'll be making use of 30 inches with the hemming allowance at the lower part and also the upper part inclusive. So 30 inches is okay for me. So now, before starting, you might be wondering, okay, how can I determine the amount of fabric needed for my box pleated skirt? All you have to do is to just multiply your waist measurement, that is your waist circumference, by 3, and you're good to go. So right now, what I will do now is to start from the edge of my fabric. So the first thing I do is I will just measure 30 inches. Since I said I wanted 30 inches, so from the edge of this fabric, I'll just measure 30 inches. 30 inches is around here, so I will just measure it a little bit. So as I go pleating my skirt, then I keep extending the line. So this makes it easier for me to cut it off by the time I'm done with the pleated skirt. So right now, let's get started. So right now, my fabric is on the spread out. Can you see that? So like I said earlier on, I wanted 30 inches for both the upper part and the lower part hemming allowance. So here I have my 30 inches, so I just made a straight line. So as I go by, I will just keep making a straight line. So you need to determine the width of the pleats you want. So like within 3 or 4 is okay. So I will just make mine 4 inches, which is okay for me. So what I will just do is this. We will have 2 openings, which will be for the zipper, where we will insert the zipper. So we have to leave 1 inch at the end of both sides. So what I will do now is from this edge, I will just start by marking 1 inch. This will be for the zipper allowance. So from here now, I will start marking 4 inches. 4 inches, and I will move forward again 4 inches. Again 4 inches. So we keep going on and on this way. So after doing that, the next thing now is to start pleating. So right now, this is from this zipper allowance, the next 4 inches is here. So all I have to do is to take it this way, and then from here, just place it on the 1 inch. Can you see? On the 1 inch marking. Do you see what I have? So to make it easier, you can just use an iron. So this will help you even if there is a slip. Can you see that? So it will stay, and then you know where that is. Then I will just pin this down. And you see that was pretty easy. Then the next thing will be, you go to where the next 4 inches mark is, pleat it this way again, and let it be on the next one. Then you can use either the iron or just put your pin in it. Can you see we have our box pleats? Can you see that was pretty easy? After doing that, the next thing I will do is just make sure, because on the other side like this, you have an inverted pleat. So in case you don't want a box pleat, you want an inverted pleat, you will be doing this on this side. So on the right side, you have an inverted pleat, but here we needed a box pleat, so that is why we made it like this. So what I will just do is that I will make sure this meets each other, and then I will pin it down. So this will help from moving around. we are done with the first one. As you are going along, you can just cut this off, but either way you like, you can't just leave it. So the next thing now is this. You keep marking the 4 inches. So here I have just one left here, so I will just start from here. 4 inches, that's what I have here. Then 4 inches. Can you see that? So now, after this first one, the next thing now is that you will take this next one. So just take it and then bring it down here to meet the initial one. Then you take your pin. Then this next one will be going over to this side. Please watch that carefully. Can you see that? And I'll take my pin. Can you see that? Then I will go over to the wrong side. Make sure the inverted pleats here meet each other. And then I will pin it down. Can you see that? So the next one, which is this, will be coming over to this place again. Can you see that? Can you see that was pretty easy? So all I have to do is to pin it this way, and I'll keep doing this forward. And then instead of start calculating and all that, because so many people has problem with that, so once as you go, you keep measuring. Like I said, it's 36, so you can just ignore this 1 inch and then you start measuring. Can you see now? So now I have 10 inches. So I still have like 26 inches to go. So I will keep pleating it till I have my exact waist circumference. So in case you want to cut this as long as you are going with the pleating, all you have to do is just take your scissors and cut on the line. You can leave it and pleat it all before cutting this, because at times I cut it as I'm going forward. At times I finish it all before I cut it, because I just want to do this in case some people are interested in that. So I will just stop there and then continue pleating. So in case you want to iron as you are going along with that, just do it this way. Make sure you have 1 inch on this side. This is 1 inch, and then just, can you see that? Then take your pressing iron and do this. So you just have your perfect box split as you go. Can you see that? So you can do this also, but I will just ignore that and keep pleating my box split. So now I will just check. I've pleated some, so I will check what I have now. So I'll just start from the 1 inch. Can you see that? Then I will measure to see whatever I have now. So right now I have 28. So that means I will still continue pleating till I get to 36. So right now I will just cut again. This is where my skirt will stop. So I will just cut a little bit. So as I pleat, I cut. So, and then I use my pressing iron to just give it a nice shape. So right now I will continue pleating till I get to 36 inches. So what I will do now is, this is the 1 inch for the zipper allowance, so that is where I will start my measurement from. So here I have 36, so luckily that is where my pleat stops. But in case yours is more or lesser, you can just, whatever is remaining, just split it over with that. So since I have 36 here, remember I left 1 inch here, so I will do the same thing here. So from the edge of this pleat I will add 1 inch. So this is my zipper allowance. So this right now I will just trim off. So now the skirt is ready. Can you see that? So the next thing to do now is to take to my sewing machine and sew whatever allowance you have left on this. So I will just do 3/4 to 1 inch seam allowance here. So I will take to my sewing machine and just sew in a straight line, making sure the pleats are intact. So I will sew all down and then bring it back to show you. So after sewing, this is what I have. Can you see all the box pleats are in place? Can you see that? So we are done with the skirt. So now going to the band. So all I have to do is that I want a band height of, initially I wanted 2 inches, but I changed my mind to 1.5. So this is the height of 1.5. So I then use an interfacing. You can use any type, either the soft one or the medium weight one. So I just use that, and then I folded in 1/2 inch for the hemming allowance. So I already ironed it in. Can you see that? So here, this is what I have. I have my 1.5, and then for the width, I wanted 36 inches. My waist is 36, so I have 36 inches straight. And then for these raw edges, I will need 1/2 inch on both sides to take it in to make it neater. So that will make it 37, and then I want it to overlap by 1 inch on both sides. So I have extra 2. So that made it all 39 inches. So this is what I have. So you can decide to first take in the raw edges, or you can just sew it in before taking the raw edges. But what I will do now is to take to my sewing machine, and then when you are doing that, you should be sewing on the wrong side. So this is what I have. So I will turn it this way and then take in 1/2 inch and then bring it out. So now this is what the band will look like. So now let's go over to fix our zipper. So what I will do is this: just get a matching zipper, then on the wrong side just place this together this way, making the zipper allowance poking out. Can you see that? So the next thing is to sew. So this is the end of my skirt. Can you see that? Then you have to determine where you want your zipper to stop. I will want an hook and eye, or better still, you could just make your zipper up till where your band is. So now I will just want my zipper to be here. So now I will just make it 7 inches from the edge till here. So this is where I want my zipper to stop. So right now, remember we left 1 inch sewing allowance, so it will be here. So what I will do now is to take to my sewing machine and sew all down. Make sure you do not sew the box pleats. So I will just sew this down and show you. So I haven't sewn it. Can you see that? So this is where my zipper will be. Then I will turn to the right side. So right now, this is the zipper opening. All I have to do is to fold in this zipper allowance, place my zipper this way. I've made series of video on how to fix a zipper. So can you see that? I will just pin it down all through and do the same thing here. These two goes like this. I will just pin some down. So you can just allow this raw edge to start with this, because here will be where the band will stop. Can you see that? So you just pin it all through. Once I pin it, I will do the same thing for this side, and then take to your sewing machine and just sew this way down here, and then you come up again. It's as easy as that. So right now I fixed my zipper. Can you see that? So I'll just open it up now and then start fixing my band. Remember, I left 1 inch extra for the overlap because I will be having a hook and eye on my skirt. So what I have to do now is insert it in. So it's easier because I folded in the seam allowance, and then I'll start pinning. So once I get to my sewing machine, all I have to do is to start sewing. Can you see that? So you just keep putting it in this way. Can you see? Make sure the pleats are well aligned. So I'll keep doing that all through. Then I will take to my sewing machine and just start sewing from here all through. So right now that I've fixed the band, can you see the overlap here? So I will just fix the hook and eye, and I've hem the lower part. So I'll just give it a good press and show you how it looks on me. And this is the skirt we just made. Can you see? It's so easy, so nice, and so beautiful. So just give it a try and share with us on our Facebook group, Sewing Innovations. Just search for it on Facebook and just join us. The admins will be waiting to approve your request. And you can follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures. So just give it a try. Bye, and don't forget to subscribe.